Welcome, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at r/Best of Redditor updates. Now, the second story I had a brief look through just because of the fact that the title was so shocking, essentially. And let me tell you now, dear listener, you do not want to miss it. So make sure you stick around and listen for that second story because, oh my goodness. But yeah, if that sounds like something you'd want to listen to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay, first post posted by Direct Caterpillar 77, and the title is Me, 21F, with new boyfriend, 24M, his friends, 20M, tested me and I passed. Is this as weird as I think it is? I already have an idea of what might be going on here, and yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so Direct Caterpillar is not the original poster. The original poster is on the screen. They are u/Gauntlet Throwaway. I think I have read that right. So, originally posted November 7th, 2015. Hi, relationships. So I'm going to assume this was posted to r/relationships. Need some outside perspective here on a small but weird problem. I've been dating this guy Sam for about 3 months now. Just recently made it official, and I met his friends on Thursday. Sam's awesome, and his friends seem awesome too. Or so I thought. We were all hanging out, playing games, watching Netflix, etc. on Thursday after having come back from the local bar. It was a good time and we were all having fun. Then Sam left the room and his friends almost immediately started talking shit about him. They were ragging on his appearance, calling him a loser, etc. And it made me very uncomfortable. They tried to get me to join in, and I kept brushing them off. They persisted, so I finally told them to knock it off and informed them that I would be telling Sam of all of this. They got quiet, and then Sam came back, and they tried to go back to just hanging out. I was so pissed off that I said I was going to bed and went to Sam's room. Honestly, that's not the way I thought this was going to go. Just saying. I thought the friends were going to try it on with the OP and see what their reaction was. Still icky though. Sam came in about half an hour later and asked me if everything was okay. I told him that his friends were talking shit about him and it pissed me off. I said that I know I had no right to tell him who to be friends with, but I think he should ditch them. And then he did something that totally threw me off. He grinned. I asked him what he was smiling about, and that's when he told me the following. Apparently, they do this with every girl Sam meets to test her and see if she'll talk shit about him behind his back. If she does, he dumps her. If not, hooray! Sam's in on it and says it's pretty harmless. He says I'm the first girl to have told him about what happened, which means I'm the best. This is really weird for a few reasons. And a very flawed logic as well, let me tell you. I am inclined to agree that it's harmless. No, it's not. But I find it weird. Am I right in thinking that this is strange? Is this something normal? No. Do all guys do this? I hope not. Just need some perspective. Thanks. TLDR, new boyfriend's friends tested me by trying to get me to talk shit behind his back. Am I wrong in thinking it's weird? No, you're not wrong in thinking it's weird because it is very weird. And also, there is a lot of reasons why this is just a very flawed attempt at testing your loyalty, because a lot of people, when put in a room with a bunch of people they don't know, who then start like slagging them off and stuff, are gonna maybe just kind of laugh along out of uncomfortableness. You know, they're not gonna want to rock the boat. They might be too shy to be like, hey, this isn't right. I don't like this. Not everyone is comfortable in sticking up for themselves or others when they are the only person in this new group sat there not getting involved in it. So for Sam to base all his relationships and whether he continues with them on that's stupid. It's idiotic at best. Really icky, and it lays a very gross foundation, I think, for a relationship. If I found out someone had done this to me, no, I'd be bidding them off. I'd be like, no, I don't want to be with someone who feels like they have to test me and my loyalty. I don't like that. And that you're planning to do this behind my back and that you're getting all your friends involved in essentially kind of singling me out to see how I react. No, absolutely not. And if Sam distrusts his ability to choose a partner that much, maybe he should stay single for a while. So, top comments, Girl Who Poops says, your boyfriend still has a lot of growing up to do. This is high school level stuff, indeed. You need to decide if you want to date a child, or do you want to move on and find a real man? Precisely. And then a deleted user says, well, you may have passed his test, but he sure as failed yours. Why would you want to be with someone who is going to set you up like that? And then Roaming Amber says, wow, you may have passed, but Sam and his friends failed miserably. Setting people up in an uncomfortable and made-up positions is not only mean and childish, but it's also unrealistic and pointless. You don't lie to people to gain the truth. Your mileage may vary, but I'd be moving on from people who feel the need to manipulate me and put me through stress for their own benefit and amusement. And then an update, November 8th, 2015, the next day. Hello again. Wow, my post blew up yesterday. Thanks everyone for the advice. Sorry I didn't respond to anyone. I posted it while on my break at work, so I had no time to do so. I thoroughly appreciate all of you taking the time to comment. You're all radiant unicorn moonbeams and you're awesome. Everyone pretty much unanimously said A, Sam is a dick. Yes. And B, dump the dick. Yes. This confirmed my suspicions, but I figured I'd talk to Sam about it anyway, just to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I'm nice like that. Well, long story short, A, Sam really and truly is a dick, and B, the dick has been dumped. Woo! I am so glad. The conversation lasted all of 5 minutes before he started getting defensive. The climax was him calling me a bitch for not being grateful that I passed his stupid test. Sam, you are delusional, my love. At that point, I just said, yeah, it's over. I may have passed your test, but you failed mine. Thanks, you/Roaming Amber, for that line. And I walked away. Mic drop, OP. Yes, my love. He tried to blow up my phone, but I nipped that in the bud by blocking him. Love it. Me and my friend do this thing with people that we can't quite block, but we don't want to have to deal with at the time, so they get put in detention in the archives. So yeah, thanks everybody for helping me dodge a massive bullet bill-sized bullet. Much appreciated. You all are a bunch of beautiful sunlit diamonds. I like this OP. I like them a lot. So down in the comments of Best of Redditor Updates, Master Hacker says, you don't lie to people to gain the truth is a solid bomb drop. Yes, it is. And then Tyre Connell FL, I think IFL, I don't know. And I like their tagline, I'm actually a far pettier, deranged woman. I'm sure we've read that post that tagline's from. It rings a bell, but I like it nonetheless. He gains an important truth that he's a gaining, sadly, isn't learning, much less learning from. Honestly, I feel like he needed to learn that lesson, because if he goes through life, like I said before, doing this to his relationships, thinking that he can't be in a relationship and not trusting his intuition on who he picks that much, he's never going to be happy. He's always going to be thinking that there's something untoward going on behind the scenes. So yeah. He needs to learn to be by himself, I think, and learn to trust himself and his own choices before ever getting in a relationship, and severely needs to mature a little. Okie pokey artichokey, next post, and I've been waiting for this. I haven't read it all, I just skimmed because the title was so shocking to me, and you'll see why. So this one was also posted to the subreddit by Direct Caterpillar 77, and the title says, am I the butthole for telling my brother he cannot stay with me over Christmas if he brings his prosthetic leg? 2-year new update. Now, I'm sure you could tell why I was so shocked by this title, because I thought, holy ableism, Batman. I can't believe it that someone would tell someone they can't bring their prosthetic leg. So of course I had to read ahead a little bit, and that's where this came from, but I haven't read the whole thing. Buckle up. So the original poster was u/appropriate elk 2603 and originally posted to r/am I the butthole. Originally posted December 24th, 2023. My younger brother has a prosthetic leg. I think it's creepy as fuck, and I have no idea where he got it. I'm reasonably certain that this is something I would rather not know. To be clear here, my brother has 2 perfectly healthy legs still attached to his body. Can you imagine my face when I read that line? I read that line and I stopped reading any further. I was like, no, I have to go through this with all of you because what? He just has this thing he takes with him everywhere. I don't know why. I don't want to know. Before you ask, yeah, it is probably a mental health thing. He wanted to stay with me rather than our parents while he is home for the holidays. I said he was welcome to stay so long as he doesn't bring that thing into my house. He said it wasn't a big deal and that he would leave it in his luggage. I agreed on the condition that if I saw it outside of his luggage in my home, then I had the right to destroy it. He backtracked on staying with me, and it is at our parents' house, where he is miserable. They still treat him like a little boy instead of a guy who is almost 30. Could that possibly be why he feels the need to carry around a prosthetic leg like it's a young child's teddy bear? My youngest has an emotional support comic. Now, no, it's not a comic we bought. It's one they wrote about themselves doing all this cool stuff, and I'm just like, do you know what, pal, you want to take that around, you crack on, my love. That's fine. He called me again after supper and asked to please stay with me. I said he could, so long as we, together, took his thing and put it into a storage unit until he leaves. I get the key. Have you noticed the OP doesn't even want to say leg? Like, they keep saying thing. That must be how much it's creeping out the OP, and I get it. He won't do it. He says that I'm being a bitch for not letting him stay with me. I think he needs to get therapy or medication, or both, or a girlfriend, boyfriend, dog, cat, hamster, something. Just not a goddamn prosthetic leg. This poor OP. I think they feel like they are cracking up. I get that vibe. And then relevant comments, top comments. Danu Horus says, I'm a prosthetist, and I have to ask, what does this leg even look like? Below knee or above knee? Does it just have the pylon bare, or is there a foam covering so that it sort of looks like a leg? Is there a foot shell on it, or is the foot component just sorta hanging out? The reason I'm asking is because A, prosthetic, anything, is mind-bogglingly expensive, and B, you can't just have a prosthetic leg if you have 2 perfectly healthy legs. You literally need a stump to make one that's specifically yours. Did your brother receive it from someone? Did he steal it? And just to be sure, it's an actual prosthesis and not a leg brace of some kind. I've had patients and their families make that mistake before. I've got this image in my head of, you know, those lamps that were around in a lot of like films in like the 90s and 80s, and it was like a leg with fishnets and a shoe. Like, is it that? What is going on? And then the OOP says, it looks like a carbon fibre cup with a steel knee, lower leg, and foot. God, that would have been expensive. Yeah, I like to watch a lot of medical documentaries and medical shows and what have you. Like, you know, the factual ones. I love watching surgeries be done. I'm not weird, okay? I can't watch horror films where there's gore. It's purely out of a fascination for the way the body works, okay? Which is funny because I can watch them do a surgery, but then I can't watch made up gore. It makes me feel sick. It's so weird. Anyway, and yeah, I've watched a few little documentaries where people are going and, you know, they need a prosthesis and they go to get it fitted. And the whole process, it takes so long, and they have to have them refitted and they have to size them up and then they have to make sure they fit. They might have to adjust them. And I imagine that costs a hell of a lot of money. You ain't just finding this on the street. So then Daniel Horace replies to that saying, oh, Jesus, above knee prosthesis are not cheap. That's an entire car right there. Flippin' heck. I would actually grill your brother on where he got it because it's 100% not his. If he stole it, he's looking at a felony grand theft charges. If he bought it, check his and your parents' financials because, again, these things are insanely expensive and he doesn't sound like the brightest bulb. Make sure he does not try to sell the prosthesis or any of its components. I get that they can be hard to get for the people who need them the most, but if the components are damaged in any way, they can lead to gnarly injuries for when they inevitably fail. If you truly do want to get rid of it, there are organisations out there that take old prosthesis and refurbish them. Ah, that's great. And then Apolly Miss Dill says, an emotional support prosthesis leg. That's a new one. Really, truly. And then Fantastic Warning 389 says, her brother won it in a raffle and it came all the way from France in a crate marked fragile. The leg is actually a lamp and it wears a black fishnet stocking. A black high heel shoe and a fringed lampshade. The ones that I've seen have always got a red or pink shoe on. That's what I was imagining. But honestly, what's your emotional support item? I bet a lot of us have one. My emotional support item is, so one, I have a pentagram necklace that kind of like, it's a circle in a circle and the inner circle spins, so you can like use it as like a fidget. And if you ever hear like clicky clacking, and you might even hear it now because I'm touching it because I'm thinking about it, that's what that is. Otherwise, I have like this little I have a bra crystal. I've got a crystal that lives in my bra, and I'm not one of those who fully thinks like, oh yeah, crystals are going to solve all my problems. I just really like them. I find them comforting. I like to take it out the bra sometimes and like just hold it, but it lives in there because I know it's safe. I swear it's a universal female thing that we just use bras as like pockets because they don't want to give them us on our clothes, do they? So anyway, back to the story. Chris 1986 says, I know this is extremely distressing for you, but I'm laughing so hard. Same. At first I was like, is this a-hole serious? She won't let her brother bring his leg? That's exactly what I thought when I read the title. I was like, oh, what a horrible person. Like, his whole ass leg he needs to walk because he's literally lost a leg in some horrible accident. But then you clarified both his legs are healthy and still attached, and I lost it. Not the butthole, but you and I are not the same. I would need to know all of it. Where did you get it? Why do you have it? What do you do with it? Did you steal it off a bum or something? Then I would stare at him uncomfortably until he broke and told it all to me. I may later regret my decision, but I don't think that far into the future when something catches my attention. I would be the same. I would need to know. And I would also be incredibly worried that someone out there is missing their leg. So Adventurous Revolt then says, you and I are the same. Follow-up questions. Does the person who it belonged to know you have it? Did they die? Have you named the leg yet? That's what I would want to know. What's their name? What's their pronouns? Do you sleep with it and cuddle it? Does it bruise you since it's not soft or cuddly? Are you in a relationship with a leg? Do you take the leg on dates? Do you buy them Xmas presents? Do they have a favourite type of sock? I need to know. So many questions. And then Mechaface says, what is the leg's life story? Honestly, I would be the same. So then an update on this mysterious prosthetic leg, January 4th, 2024. I didn't realise how much attention this is going to get. Enough that someone informed the woman my brother stole it from. Little shit. The brother, by the way, not the person who grasped. The person who grasped is totally in the right. And she was able to figure out what happened. She called the cops and he got arrested. Good. I guess he was sort of trying to do the thing where he could be the hero that tracked down her leg. What? And he was just carrying it around for months on end? Please don't ask me what the fuck was going through his head. The leg was expensive enough that he is facing real criminal charges. That's all. Sorry there is not more to tell. Top comment. I mean, to be quite honest, he deserves all the charges he gets. He stole someone's physical mobility aid. What is wrong with him? And then Gold Magikarp says, I remember reading this originally and wondering why the hell he needed to take that leg around everywhere with him. I feel like he would have returned it way sooner if he wanted to play the hero. Yes! Precisely. I don't believe for a minute he was going to return that leg. I think it was some sick, weird thing that he was getting a kick out of. Viper Bunny then says he quite literally wanted her to come crawling to him. Oh no. He wanted her to feel as vulnerable as possible so that she would need him. Yeah, you might be right there, to be fair. I was medically abused by my mum. Sadly, this kind of behaviour isn't new to me. As I have gone no contact and been through therapy, it all becomes more clear. My mum has an untreated personality disorder. They want you to believe that they are the only one who care, and the only ones to be able to take care of said person. They want them to be as helpless as possible. Sounds like he picked the wrong lady to try that crap on. Honestly, she should beat him with her leg. Actually, no, don't do that, because you might break the expensive leg. He's not worth that, to be honest. So Potential Speech 703 then says, that's wild. I wonder why he wanted to bring it with him though. Is he obsessed with the woman and has to carry the leg with him all the time? Maybe he has a bit of an fetish to prosthesis. Maybe that's why. I mean, stealing it is one thing, but why carry it around all the time? If he tried to be the hero, he could have hid it. It sounds more like a weird obsession. Bingo! I don't think he wanted to give it back to be the hero. I have so many questions, but I'm glad the woman will get her leg back. This is something I never really thought I would ever say. Yeah, that's a brand new sentence right there. Brand new. Many brand new sentences in this one story alone. Goodness me. I love reading these stories with you, but my God, is it a good job I have therapy right after this. So, Original Dogue Star says, at least with all that evidence, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. I'm going to show myself out. Hat, coat, door. And then Curly Toes Goblin says, sound like he really stepped in it. These are the kind of jokes my dad would make. So, another update, November 25th, 2025, so nice and recent. So, it's finally over. My brother had to go to court after being charged with several crimes, the most serious being felony theft. That was really hard to say. I don't know if you could tell. I will just put the bullet points of results. Found guilty because he was too stupid to take a plea deal, had to serve some time incarcerated and now has parole. Managed to avoid being charged with a segs crime. Oh, duh! I know what they mean. Oh my goodness. My parents paid to have the leg reconditioned, or whatever it's called. A professional prosthetic devices mechanic got it back in working condition. I am glad, but I'm sad your parents are the ones that had to foot the bill for that. And again, I feel that their babying him is what has enabled him to feel brash enough to do this in the first place. The woman got her leg back as well as some money in restitution. I bet the brother didn't pay that. I bet the parents did. He is not welcome at my home, with or without any prosthetics, for the foreseeable future. The woman has a restraining order against him indefinitely. Yeah, that would be needed. That's all there is to tell. Hope this answers everyone's questions. Thanks for still caring about this weird experience in my life. So then we have the best comment. Dog Pound Ma says, okay y'all, this is gonna sound crazy, but a buddy of mine was playing in the surf about waist deep at the beach. All of a sudden, he screams like a little girl. Turns out a leg hit him in the chest. He freaked out thinking it was a body. Nope, just a prosthetic leg. He realises what it is when his brain turns back on and pulls it out of the surf to the beach. Of course, his son thought it was cool as heck and wanted to keep it. Now, thankfully for him, he used his brain and sent his son down to grab a lifeguard and the deputy that was on the beach patrol. He did ask the deputy if they found the owner if they would let him know, and he gave them his number. A couple days later, he got a call. A young lady had been surfing a couple of miles further up the beach. She had a bad Wi-Fi scrape out and the clip that held the leg broke and she lost the leg. Apparently, this wasn't a normal prosthetic. It was designed for heavy athletic and water use. She thought it was gone for good and was very expensive, as this wasn't something insurance paid for. She was thrilled to have it back, and it was being refurbished after being submerged in salt water for almost 48 hours. She and her family took my friend and his family out to dinner as a reward for finding it. Ah, they have continued to stay in touch, and she is an amazing young lady. That's so cute. She lost the leg due to a cancerous tumour. Not so cute, but I hope she's doing much better now. Now nothing slows her down. She does everything an able-bodied person can do. Only thing is, they added another clip that ties with a 10-foot bungee cord to her surfboard. In case it was to come off again, it would remain attached to the surfboard. Fabulous idea. Yes, a very good idea. So, down in the comments of the Best of Redditor Updates post, Hung White Boy 125, give over! Goodness me, some of these usernames are out of pocket! I am convinced the biggest plot twist in Reddit history is my brother brings his prosthetic leg everywhere. Here's the thing, he has both his legs, he just carries this thing everywhere. Honestly, not something I thought I'd be reading on a Thursday morning. And then Princess Alice, got it, went in one. For real though, I know every goddamn one was ready to jump her ass for denying a person with a missing limb their mobility aid prosthetic from the title. Literally, I was ready. And then she says that he has both his legs fully intact and working, like the prosthetic is a purse or something. Genuinely wildest thing I've read this week. And that says something because we read a lot of stories that are out of flipping pocket. Like, seriously. Oh my goodness. I need to lie down in a dark room. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. So yeah, if you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, don't forget to leave a comment. I want to know what your comfort item is. Don't you forget, I will be very sad. And turn your notifications on. That is your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.